What's up, Yak fam? My Yak heads. It's your boy, General Yak Bar. I know it's been a minute and a half since my last upload, but hey, we're back. Today, we're reviewing the Arctic base pack from a new team called Forma3d Store. They are a few former big, medium, small artists, so you know the quality is going to be really top notch if you're familiar with big, medium, small stuff. This pack is perfect for creating those isolated, tension-filled environments. And to show you what's possible, I've created some scenes inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, while this pack has some impressive features, there are a few significant issues that might make it unusable for some creators. So stick around to find out what those are. First, let's go over what's in the pack. At the time of purchasing this pack, they had a 30% off discount, which I think is still going. It's this launch discount that they've had going. Get it, I guess, now before that discount code expires. But with the discount, it makes it come out to just under $100. And I'll break down what you get in this pack. And trust me, there's a lot to cover. We're looking at over 150 assets total. Several hero buildings that form your main research station structures. 64 mid-sized assets for expanding your base. 60 props and set dressing items for adding that lived-in feel. 9 landscape and mountain assets for creating a perfect Arctic environment. And 10 snow materials with 4K textures for custom landscapes. These last two mentioned on the list are actually, in my experience, not common to get with asset packs like this. You'll get the assets, but you don't really get the environment that they're staged in. So big props for them for including that. I really think it adds a lot of value to the pack. The pack is compatible with Blender 4.1 and above and Unreal Engine 5.4 and above. And that comes in both FPX and OBJ formats, so you've got options. And since I primarily use Blender, that's what I'll be covering in this video. First up, let's cover the good stuff. What really stands out is the modular design of these models. This means you're not locked into the preset layouts. You can create anything from a small research outpost to sprawling scientific complexes. The detail on these models is incredible. You can tell a whole story just focusing on one or two of the models alone. Like, for example, check out these windows. There's real interiors inside of them. Not just a texture projection, but like actual geometry. It's a small detail, but I really got to give props to the effort. The topology is thoughtful and efficient, and the textures are really detailed and high quality, which is why the models look so realistic. The metal surfaces have that edge wear, and the paint is textured and weathered like you'd expect from equipment in these Arctic conditions. The models are perfect for both still renders and animations. The mood pieces I created for this video just took a few hours. That's the real benefit of well-made assets. They help you get to where you're trying to go. They instantly boost the quality of your scenes. And since they're not overly stylized like other asset packs can be, they don't create this creative constraint. And instead, they give you just enough space to tell the story you want without the assets stealing the whole show. For me, I really value this kind of flexibility because if you deal with 3D assets or if you're a 3D artist that creates kind of like everyday artwork or anything like that, you've probably seen a lot of assets that are very recognizable. So like you almost don't pay attention to the artist and the artwork, but you really get distracted by, oh, that's that specific pack that I know. And I'm sure a lot of that comes with like how the artist uses the pack, but I feel like personally for me, I like when the assets are a little bit more mundane and normal in a sense, because that gives me a starting point to build on top and to stylize if I want to. Next up, the technical specifications. This pack comes with full 4K PBR materials, which means each material uses about 3 to 4 separate 4K images, and all textures in this pack are 4K resolution, which ensures maximum detail, but also means you'll need decent hardware to work with them efficiently. On the other hand, the models themselves are very well made. As I mentioned earlier, good topology flow, really efficient modeling here. They have the UV maps unwrapped appropriately with seams and sharpened edges, everything you'd expect in like a high quality 3D model made by a professional team that clearly knows what they're doing. I especially like when the UV maps are laid out nice and proper because the textures themselves, you can really sample these. I like going in and sometimes taking the textures from one asset and transferring them to another, or maybe just taking the roughness map because that sometimes has all I need to get some nice texture variation. As I mentioned earlier, there are interiors for some of the models, which is really cool. And you can see that they're not spending too much time on modeling like the very deep interior parts. This door is just a flat image, but from the outside as an element, it's really nice to see that. There's a room here with the drop ceiling. There's some decent textures out here. There's lights and actual lamps inside. So that's kind of cool. So that when you go into the nighttime mode and you turn on the emission materials and the lights, it'll be ready for nighttime. Concerns and workarounds. I'm testing this on a 3080 Ti with 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and even I've noticed some significant viewport performance impacts. So you can see the VRAM usage in real time. These 4K textures are memory hungry, and they add up quickly when you're building a complete base environment. I think the value of assets like this is that they are high quality and they do save the artists a lot of work in making the assets themselves or modeling, texturing, all that kind of stuff. But when the models are not optimized for most artists, it's going to be more work than it's worth. And this leads me perfectly into the next portion of the video. The pack desperately needs 2K texture options. This would make it much more accessible to beginners and users with mid-range hardware. Also, it looks like asset browser compatibility for Blender is missing. If you're not familiar with the asset browser, it's basically Blender's built-in library system that lets you drag and drop models right into your scene. For a modular kit like this, having drag and drop functionality from the asset browser, like what Big Medium Small offers, would significantly improve workflow efficiency. That's always something they can add as an update too. For larger scenes, even higher end GPUs like my 3080 Ti, I understand there's a whole 50 series cards out now, so it might not be that high end, but I still think it's high end. Even for computers like mine, they can struggle with the current texture resolution. Additional considerations are the interiors could use a bit more variety. Like I really love that they put in that extra step and added actual interiors because that's really, really cool. But they start to look the same. And again, on one hand, it's nice because you can customize it yourself. But if they're going to put that in, it would be nice to see maybe in future packs where there's just a little bit of variety, maybe like a color, wall color, posters, things like that. Some additional material variants would be welcome. And a few characters, rigged or posed, would make this an airtight pack, in my opinion. So for the performance issues, a couple workarounds that I would suggest. You can manually downscale the textures in your preferred image editor. It's tedious, but it'll be a huge help if your scenes are struggling. The other thing you can do is you can consider using Blender's texture resolution limiting feature for the viewport to work. So that's going to be up here in the preferences. And the last thing that I think that they can improve on is the distribution. Now, this is kind of like a specific thing that I feel a certain way about. Might not be an issue for you. So when you get the assets, it'll happen through Gumroad. And this creates an interesting situation. On one hand, it feels like you're working with a small and humble team. But on the other hand, it's a bit jarring to be led off-site to download the files where they are not as neatly organized and presented. This process isn't even unique to Forma3d. If you download stuff from Gumroad all the time, you won't care. But there's this weird disconnect between their super professional looking core website and the completely separate download site that doesn't share the same level of polish. This issue, combined with the lack of asset browser functionality I mentioned earlier, just means you'll be doing a little bit more cleanup work to get everything organized how you want. Not a deal breaker by any means, but definitely something to keep in mind and be aware of. And lastly, as I was making this review, I was able to talk to the team a little bit, and they shared with me some pretty exciting plans that they have for the future. The first thing was that it looks like they're going to be adding characters, and you can see already previews of that on their socials, and they look really good. I think that having characters is a really good asset to have because most oftentimes for me, I just need it for a quick scale reference or for a composition, something in the foreground, or even just filling out a background with background characters. And then the other thing is they're going to be adding vehicles. And I think that's also another welcome thing because it's just going to give you more things to tell stories with, to craft your compositions around. And this last thing they mentioned got me really excited. This is actually huge. They want to provide the exact scenes from their marketing materials in upcoming packs. If you've ever bought asset packs before, you know how promotional renders don't always match what you get. And I think having access to these showcase scenes means you'll be able to recreate exactly what caught your eye in the first place. I also think that from an educational standpoint, there's a lot to learn there. You can pick apart, you can see how they got certain looks or why they picked certain compositions or how they were able to achieve that. So in conclusion, here's my honest take. This pack is a comprehensive tool set for creating Arctic research environments. The attention to detail and the sheer variety of assets make it perfect for ArcViz or narrative projects like my Thing-inspired scenes. The modularity is a huge win and the quality of each asset is impressive. However, keep in mind those 4K textures will demand significant GPU resources. I strongly recommend the developers consider adding 2K texture options in a future update to make this more accessible for creators with varying hardware capabilities. Also, since there are so many assets, organizing them for the asset browser would not only make it easier to find what you want, it would also be a huge workflow improvement. I think if you're releasing an asset pack for Blender in 2025, you just have to include asset browser functionality. Despite the texture resolution challenge, if you have the hardware to handle it or are comfortable with manually optimizing the textures, I think this pack offers an exceptional value with over 150 crafted assets. I've included links to the asset pack down below, and yes, this is my honest review. I actually purchased this pack for my own projects, and if you want to see how I created these mood pieces, be sure to subscribe as my next video will be all about how I created these scenes. I'm curious though, do you use asset packs in your work? If so, what do you usually look for in those packs? What's something you think would make this pack or others even better? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.